have a book review. Hopefully this should be going up on the 25th, I think it is, of June, but I'm filming this like 20 days early at least. This is the 2nd, so like 20 something days early. So this is because I only just finished the book and I don't want to film this video just before it's supposed to go up, because then I wouldn't remember everything, and I finished this yesterday and I so loved it. So this book is Melt by Celine Kastrolova. I hope I said that right, I'm so sorry if I didn't. But I got this book for review for this blog tour that I'm part of like right now, and this is not the cover that will be, like, if you bought it, this isn't the cover. This is just the art cover. So I will put the real cover on screen, but I'm going to keep holding up this one. I'm probably going to put the art cover on top, the real cover on top of the art. But this is sort of a retelling of The Wizard of Oz. It follows a girl named Dorothy who moves to a new small town and meets the bad boy of the town, Joey. Joey kind of have resemblance to the Tin Man, but it's never really like pulled out that much. And I really adored this book. It follows like issues like Love Letters to the Dead did, such as domestic violence and issues like that, and how like that leads to like alcoholism and stuff like that. And the thing I loved about this book the most was the fact that the brutality of the domestic violence that Joey experiences in his home was not shied away from. Like, in the beginning of this book, in the first chapter, I think it was in the first few pages, we see Joey's dad shove a gun down his mom's throat, like literally down her throat, so she was almost gagging. And I know that will disturb some people, so that might put people off this book, that it's so graphically shown. But I loved it because I feel very passionate about the fact that teenagers and people in general need to be made aware of how awful it is. This, like, the domestic violence Joey experienced wasn't just his dad hitting his mom. It was so much more psychological than that, and it ruined all his sons' lives, and it really ruined Joey, and it's really just such a good portrayal of that. I really loved how realistic it was. And Joey's chapters, because it's told in a dual point of view from Joey and Dorothy, and Joey's chapters are written like this, like in like short, like broken sentences, and it's supposed to like reflect how Joey thinks and how he is and how destroyed and broken he is, and I really loved that. I loved how it was written. Although it was written in a really jumbled way, I really loved it because I did think it showed who Joey was, and I think it was perfect, and I really, really loved it. And I didn't know this until I emailed the author and just told her how much I loved the book, but this is actually based on a real life story of the author's boxing coach, and I love that. I think that somebody's story that's as horrible as this is getting told. I just love it. I think it's such a good book. I really loved it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It would have got 5. I think it's probably more 4.5 out of 5, but Goodreads won't allow that. It would have got a 5 if it wasn't for the insta-love. I feel like there could have been a little bit less insta-love. It could have been like build up over time, but they definitely loved each other as soon as they saw each other. But I loved how everything was dealt with in this. Like, even like the two main characters have sex quite early on in the relationship. It's like 3 months. But that's dealt with really well. I don't think it was too graphic or cheesy or horrible that they did that, and I don't disagree with that either, but some people would. Although I don't think it was like a faithful retelling, I feel like it was an important telling of this. I think it was just so good to see Joey's home life and to see how broken he was and how he reacted because of it, and how much Dorothy believed in him. And it was so good to see like the antithesis between Dorothy's family and Joey's family, and I was crying at the end of this. As soon as the thing happens that's the big twist in the book, I cried. I really did. and I loved it. And I finished this, like I said, finished City of Heavenly Fire June 1st in the morning, like at like midnight, and then I started this when I woke up and I finished it that day, so I finished 2 books in the same day. But I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I definitely think everybody should pick this up. But I don't think it's suitable for younger audiences because it's a bit traumatic and graphic. But I do feel like that's important. I'm passionate that that's important because issues like this should be shown like that, so that people are aware how horrifying it is and how much it breaks up families. And I loved it, and I can't think of words to describe how much I loved this book. But I'm so glad I got to be a part of the blog tour for this, and I thank Celine and the publicist Jennifer, I think it is, who ran this blog tour, and I really, really, really loved this. So I thank you so much for the chance to be part of this blog tour, and I hope some of you pick this up because it really is great. There is also a giveaway, as you've seen in the title, that will be linked down below on, I think it's on the PR's website, but I can't remember right now. But it will definitely be linked down below to win a copy of this. And yeah, I think it's to win a copy of this, I'm not even sure. But there's a giveaway and I'll link it down below. And I really think you should read this because I think it's such an important story to tell. And yeah, so I will see you next time. Goodbye.